Alright guys, best smells ever. What are your best smells ever? Well, for me, I've got 25 best smells ever in this video, and these are the best smelling fragrances ever coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Yes, I'm talking about the best smells ever for me. Some of the most unique, most amazing fragrance experiences, instant loves, just fragrances that really stand out as unique fragrances and the best smells ever. I've got 25 niche fragrances for you today, but before I get to the fragrances, if this is your first time tuning into my channel and you still haven't subscribed to the channel, please do click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So I'm going to be not ranking this video, and it's going to be a list of 25 niche fragrances that I think are the most unique fragrances, the best smells ever in my collection. But before I tell you the fragrances, I want to do a quick announcement. If you catch this video in time, I'm doing an Instagram live over on Instagram with one of the founders of Nay magazine periodicals. So we're doing that at 11 a.m. San Francisco time, 2 p.m. New York City time, 8 p.m. Paris time. So if you're following me there, I hope you get to catch it. We are doing some giveaways as well, but we're going to discuss all the great periodicals and books that Nay publishes. Anyway, let's get started. We're going to talk about the first fragrance, Serge Lutens Fille en Aiguille, and I recently featured this in a Serge Lutens video. If you haven't caught that, please go catch it to find out what's going on with the brand. But this is one of the best smells ever because it combines notes that I think are very, very unique together. Pine, incense, dried fruits, balsam fir, spices, bay leaf, vetiver. Great, great fragrance, green and woody with the pine and the balsam fir with this kind of ambery fruitiness. The combination is amazing, amazing fragrance. There's that light smokiness as well. So this is Fille en Aiguille. I know I'm always butchering the name of that fragrance, but I think it's all about the fragrance, not the name. Either way, the next one is JOVOY Psychedelique, one of the best smells ever. This was a fragrance that I first smelled at the JOVOY boutique, instant fell in love, and I had to get it right away. I think it's one of the best smells ever because it's one of the best patchouli fragrances, and I like the combination of the patchouli, amber, vanilla, musk, labdanum, geranium, rose, and I get this kind of a chocolate cakey, boozy patchouli experience with this one. Such a great smell, one of the best smells ever. It's a JOVOY Psychedelique. Again, I'm not ranking this list, so this is not a rank list. I'm giving you my favorites. The best smells ever. Number 3 though in this list is Frederic Malle's Portrait of a Lady. An instant love. Love it first sniff. Amazing smell, one of the most unique smells, one of the best fragrances ever created by a favorite perfumer, and this has notes of rose, patchouli, incense, sandalwood, musk, benzoin, cloves, and raspberry. Great combination, patchouli, incense, the spices, and then of course the ambery touches and that light fruity hint of the raspberry. Really, really one of the best smells ever. Frederic Malle, Portrait of a Lady. This next one's from the house of ORIZA LEGRAND, one of the most amazing and most best smells ever. This is ORIZA LEGRAND's CHYPRE Mousse. I really, really love the way this smells because it's very, very unique and different. It's a little bit out there as well, but I think it's a great earthy experience with this particular fragrance. Features oak moss, fennel, mint, green notes, Angelica, galbanum, clover, fern, mushroom, and soil tincture. But a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Again, it's very, very unique, but I think it's one of the best smells ever. Very green and earthy. ORIZA LEGRAND's CHYPRE Mousse, and that is a great, great, great smell. Alright, the next one I'm talking about is from the house of ROJA PARFUMS, and I could have featured multiple fragrances in this video for the best smells ever from this house. I'm going with, for this one, Sweetie Oud. Sweetie Oud, oh my god, such an amazing smell. Smells like a French patisserie, bakery, baking croissants, whatever. But they don't use any kind of notes like that that you think is going to smell like a patisserie or a bakery. What they have here featured in the notes is cardamom, oud, oak, patchouli, olibanum, rose, labdanum, guyakwood, artemisia, juniper. So it's different notes, right? But they created an accord with the notes to make it smell like a French patisserie. So if you like bready, bakery, croissant-like smells in a fragrance, this is it. And I think it's one of the best smells ever. Very, very unique fragrance, and I absolutely love it. So that's ROJA Parfums Sweetie Oud. One of the best smells ever. This next one's another CHYPRE fragrance. This is from the house of MDCI. This is CHYPRE Palatin, this one right here. And then a unique take on a CHYPRE fragrance. A warm and fuzzy and musky take on a CHYPRE fragrance. But it's got Tolu Balsam, Labdanum, Oakmoss, Castoreum as a note. So it's kind of balsamic and resinous and also kind of ambery as well. So again, it's a very, very unique take, but a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. One of the best fragrances from this house, created by Bertrand Duchaffoul. This is one of the best smells ever. It's MDCI CHYPRE Palatin. This next one's from the house of VILHELM Parfumerie. Lilac a Day, a Lilac a Day. One of the best smells ever. Absolutely love this one. And it's a lilac fragrance featuring lilacs, freesia, jasmine, galbanum, black amber, Turkish rose. It's floral, it's fresh, it's green, and it's also very lilac-y. And I like the contrast of the flowers with that green galbanum note. It makes for a great wearing experience. And it's a unique flower. I absolutely love lilacs, the way they smell. And this is perfectly captured here. A Lilac a Day from the house of VILHELM Parfumerie. This next one's from the house of Parfums de Marly. This is Herod. I think Herod is one of the best smells ever. I still like it to this day, and I first bought it in 2013. It was an instant love. Really, really great fragrance featuring tobacco, vanilla, cinnamon, osmanthus, incense. So you've got the tobacco, ashy tobacco contrasted with the vanilla, the spicy cinnamon, and the fruity, kind of leathery osmanthus note with the incense. Top notch, one of the best smells ever. This is Herod from the house of Parfums de Marly. I highly recommend that one. This next one's from the house of MALLE. This is Charlatan, one of the best smells ever. Yes, it kind of hints at Noir de Noir from the Tom Ford fragrance, but this is a lot more. It's a lot more intense jasmine here, and this is an indolic jasmine, so there is a little bit of a funk and muskiness in there. You gotta appreciate it. It is really, really delicious though. Pear, dark chocolate, jasmine, rose, truffles, vanilla, amber, osmanthus. Really one of the best smells ever. I absolutely love it. It's a very, very orgasmic smell. Very, very sexy. This is Charlatan from the house of MALLE, a delicious fragrance. Alright, this next one's from the house of Bruno Acampora. This is Azzurro di Capri. Instant love with this one. One of the best smells ever. Once again, we've got jasmine here. It's jasmine, orange blossom, musk, and bergamot. But to me, it acts like you're actually in Capri, smelling the jasmine, kind of like, you know, releasing their fragrance under the hot, humid sun. So it kind of has light tropical touches, but a gorgeous, gorgeous, really, really beautiful jasmine floral experience. Really one of the best smells ever for me. It's Azzurro di Capri from the house of Bruno Acampora. This next one's from the house of Diptyque. One of the best smells ever is Benjoin Bohème. Amazing fragrance, utilizing this resinous note, the sweet vanillic resinous note of benzoin. It also features notes of styrax, sandalwood, and patchouli, and all the notes work beautifully together. So it's resinous and balsamic with the woodiness and then the patchouli earthiness. Wonderful fragrance, one of the best smells ever. Diptyque Benjoin Bohème. And this next one's from the house of Geranium, and I'm featuring it in the niche category today. I do kind of go back and forth with what this brand is, and I recently spoke about Geranium and this particular collection, L'Art et l'Amitié. It's going into a new collection, but in the end, this is one of the best smells ever for me. It's Angelique Noir. I first smelled it back in 2013. It was an instant love. I never bought it for several years, but I think the combination of the vanilla with the Angelica, pear, jasmine, caraway, cedar, pink pepper with this fragrance is amazing. If you like vanilla and lightly boozy vanilla with the contrast of that Angelica note, you got to get your nose on this one. It is really, really one of the best smells ever. Guerlain Angelique Noir. I highly, highly recommend that one. This next one's from the house of Parfums d'Empire, and I recently featured one of their new fragrances, Malame, in a video a couple days ago. But this, to me, Ombre Rousse is one of the best smells ever. To me, it's all about amber, incense, leather, cinnamon, vodka, champagne, tea, coriander, birch, so it's a bit sparkly, it's a little effervescent, lightly boozy, and then there's also some fruitiness in there as well, but in the end, you've got this most amazing amber fragrance experience that's top-notch to die for. This is Parfums d'Empire Ombre Rousse. Definitely one of the best fragrances and one of the best smells ever. This next one's from the house of Parfums d'Ucita. This is Fleur de Lalita. This one is one amazing floral bouquet come alive with lots of green touches. In the end, it features white lilies, jasmine, exotic flowers, galbanum, magnolia, ylang ylang, ambrette, and ambergris. What a sexy fragrance this is. If you like a big bouquet of white flowers contrasted with this green galbanum note and throw in some you know, sexy ambrette muskiness, you've got to try Fleur de Lalita from the House of Parfums Dusita. It's an amazing fragrance. I love it. It's one of the best smells ever. My favorite fragrance from that house. Even though this next fragrance has been butchered by this house, I'm still featuring it in here because it's one of the best smells ever. I'm talking about by Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy. Sadly, it's kind of gone watered down, but to me it's one of the best smells ever. It used to be a lot oomphier. You could smell a lot more intensity here, but right now it's its weak thing. And I've been told the color gets darker, but it hasn't gotten dark. Look at that thing. It's still kind of pale orange salmon apricot colored. Either way though, I love the combination of the caramel, vanilla, orange blossom, sugar, neroli, honeysuckle, jasmine, rose, and musk. It is a great, really delicious experience, and it reminds me of a delicacy I used to eat as a kid. I just love the combination of this kind of like orange blossom neroli contrasted with kind of like gourmandish vanillic notes. Really a delicious fragrance. I do have alternatives of this on a video. You can search for it on the channel, but I think it's one of the best smells ever. This is Love Don't Be Shy. Just right now it's really light, unfortunately. Thank you, Estee Lauder. This next one's from the House of Nishane. This is Ambra Calabria. One of the best smells ever. And this is one of the best smells ever is because once again it's unique contrasts. To me, it's got lots of ambery touches, but it's contrasted with green leaves and galbanum, so it's got kind of a unique experience with an amber kind of an experience. But it's green leaves, galbanum, bergamot, amber, vanilla, coriander, and jasmine. One of the best smells ever and one of the best fragrances from the House of Nishane. Check it out. I think it's a great fragrance, Ambra Calabria. This has to be here. It's one of the best smells ever because I just love the way it smells. One of my favorite Montal fragrances. This is Intense Cafe. I really love this because it's this rose latte experience. Lightly, very lightly coffee with lactonic qualities of the latte with the rose. But you've got rose, vanilla, coffee, musk, floral notes, and amber here, and what a delicious experience it is. I think it's one of the best fragrances and one of the best smells ever. At least to me it is. Montal Intense Cafe. It's a great fragrance. This next one's from the House of Tower Perfumes. It's L'air du Desert Marocain. Instant love with this one. A lot of the fragrances in this video are instant loves, like just love it first sniff. But I think they're also some of the best smells ever. Some of the best smells ever because they're very unique. And with this one, it's amber, coriander, cedar, vetiver, cumin. It's a dry and spicy take on an amber and perfectly captures the air of the Moroccan desert. Most likely it's very dry there, and that's the kind of amber this is, very dry. A delicious fragrance. Tower Perfumes, L'air du Desert Marocain, one of the best smells ever. Now this next one I featured it in an MFK Oud video recently, and it's the one I instantly fell in love with. This is one of the best smells ever. This is Oud Silk Mood, featuring notes of blue chamomile, patchouli, rose, and oud. I think it's one of the best fragrances that combines the rose and oud together. It smells fantastic, lasts a long time, and I love the contrast of the chamomile with the patchouli in here, but also I get like a saffrony leather touch and then also some cypriol, nagarmotha, or papyrus kind of a contrast in there as well. But one of the best smells ever, and also one of the best rose and oud fragrances. Maison Francis Crichton Oud Silk Mood. I think it's one of the best smells ever. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, all the fragrances I'm featuring today are all still in production. I was putting together this video and I decided to only include fragrances that you can still buy. So this next one is from the House of Amouage, one of the best fragrances for me from Amouage and one of the best smells ever. It's Lilac Love. Lilac Love is a beautiful lilac forward fragrance, second lilac fragrance in this video, because I think lilacs have some of the best smell ever in my life. I just love the way lilacs smell, and sadly only like a little short period of time that lilacs smell. But it features lilacs, heliotrope, cacao, vanilla, tonka beans, orris, gardenia, peony, jasmine, rose, sandalwood, and patchouli. If you like a gourmand take on floral fragrances, the lilacs contrasted with this kind of almondy, powdery heliotrope and cacao, vanilla, then you definitely got to get your nose on Lilac Love. I think it's one of the best smells ever. Amouage Lilac Love. This next one is from the House of Anik Goutal Pear. Paris. This is Eau d'Adrienne, one of the best smells ever. If you like a lemony, sweet tart kind of a take on lemons fragrances with woods and green woody touches, you definitely got to get your nose on Eau d'Adrienne. This features lemons, two kinds of lemons, cypress, citron, grapefruit, mandarin orange, aldehydes. What a wonderful fragrance it is. It is a great fragrance to wear when it's really hot and humid outside. It really does have a cooling effect because it has that sweet tartness combined in here with the lemons. A great fragrance, one of the best smells ever. Eau d'Adrienne from the house of Goutal Paris, or Annick Goutal is another brand name. It used to be called Annick Goutal. They do have a new USA distributor, I believe. Well, no, I don't believe. I definitely know, so stay tuned for that. This next one's one of the best smells ever because I used to drink this. Well, I still kind of drink it once in a while when I go to my mom's. It's a spicy chai kind of a tea. This is L'Artisan Parfumérie's Tea for Two, one of the best smells ever. Reminds me of the tea I used to have, the chai tea with cinnamon and spices and black tea. But this features tea, tobacco, cinnamon, spices, honey, ginger, star anise, gingerbread, leather, vanilla, bergamot. What an intoxicating smell. What a delicious fragrance. It's a tea fragrance that's ultra spicy and also kind of bordering gourmand qualities, but a really, really delicious fragrance and one of the best smells ever. L'Artisan Parfumeur Tea for Two. One of the best smells ever. This next one's from the house of Byredo. This is Bal d'Afrique. I think one of the best fragrances from Byredo. And one of the best smells ever. I really love it. It's kind of like a sparkling kind of a vetiver. Also very unisex to me. I think vetivers kind of tend to go masculine, but this one definitely puts it in the unisex category. It's a fresh vetiver, perfect for fall. Features vetiver, lemon, marigold, black currant, bergamot, orange flower. What a unique fragrance. Really, really amazing fragrance and one of the best smells ever from any brand. This is Byredo's Bal d'Afrique. This next one's from the house of Serge. This is Accento Overdose, one of the best smells ever. This was an instant love. Again, as I said, these are all instant loves. I really love the way this smells. I get fruits, green notes, aldehydes, jasmine, lily of the valley, rose, pine, and eucalyptus. So it's a green take on a fruity floral fragrance, which is very, very unique. There is a kind of a woody undertone in there, but it's mostly about the fruits, green notes, and then the jasmine, lily of the valley, and aldehydes. What a beautiful combination of notes and a beautiful wear, long-lasting, and one of the best smells ever. Accento Overdose from the house of Serge. Last but not least, from the house of Paris Monte Carlo, it's Rose de Taïf in the Extrait de Parfum concentration. This one right here. One of the best smells ever. I love this rose. It smells fantastic. It's Taïf rose, damask rose, rose, geranium, lemons, amber rome, musk, patchouli, nutmeg. Very, very long-lasting, concentrated version of their fragrance. Wears beautifully in the heat. Everything comes alive, but it's like rose in your face. Nothing but rose, mostly rose, and very, very delicious. One of the best smells ever. This is Paris Monte Carlo's Rose de Taïf Extrait. And that's the last fragrance for you today. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in to watch this video. What are your best smells ever? Put a comment down so I can find out. And what do you think about these fragrances as my best smells ever? Let me know if you've sampled them. What do you think about them? Put a comment down so I can find out. I will probably do a part 2 of a niche video like this, and I will do a men's version, men's designer version, and or maybe I'll do men's version period, mostly designers, but I'll throw in some men's niche offerings. And then potentially I want to do a feminine version of this video as well with women's fragrances. But either way, let me know your thoughts on these fragrances. What do you think about them? Put a comment down so I can find out. And also, if you watch this video in time, please make sure to catch my Instagram live with one of the founders of Nay magazine and periodicals. It's at 11 a.m. San Francisco time, 2 p.m. New York City time, and 8 p.m. Paris time over on Instagram. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. Glad you stuck around for a bonus. We've got 2 bonus fragrances. I have to include this one. It's from a house I already spoke about here today. This is Musk Ravageur from the house of Frederic Malle. What can I say about this one that's not been said? This is a delicious gourmand take on musk with vanilla, musk, cinnamon, lavender, sandalwood, amber, and patchouli. Very, very delicious. I love gourmand fragrances and I love musk, and it combines the two, and it's one of the best smells ever. Musk Ravageur from the house of Frederic Malle. And last but not least, this is the second bonus fragrance, Ursa from the house of Tiziana Terenzi. I know the first time I discovered Straight to Heaven, that was pretty much, I thought was one of the best smells ever, but it's gotten weak and weak, and I can get that smell here in Ursa, and with the addition of a few other notes, and I think this is one of the best smells ever, and also very, very long lasting. With this one you get leather, dried fruits, patchouli, rum, elemi resin, tobacco, incense, and vetiver, but the combination is very, very intoxicating. I do get some vanillic touches as well, but the dried fruits combined with the patchouli and the rum, really, really top notch, very, very sexy, and of course the leather adds a light animalic twist to the fragrance. Wonderful wear, I love wearing it, the dry down is fantastic, one of the best smells ever, Tiziana Terenzi's Ursa. Anyway, thanks so much for sticking around to watch the bonus fragrances. Have a happy Saturday.